Okay then, hiya Root. It's time for Op-Amp 101. Let's see if the Matrix changed things back to where they're supposed to be. So I guess the meeting held by the Securities and Exchange Commission produced a climate that was conducive to a slight market rally today. That was good to see. The general mood is as it was for the approach towards the internet when the internet first got big and transformed everyone's life. Do everything you can to keep your hands off. It's possible. It's possible. I'm still mining. Hello, boys and girls. I'm happy to see that some of the major credit card companies have thrown a little water on the fire by prohibiting people going into debt over cryptocurrency. That in itself, I think, is a good move towards self-regulation. Cools a lot of speculative trading and calms the markets a little bit. This was an adjustment we needed. Anyhow, I'm not worried. Blockchain is here to stay. Did I figure out my circuit issue? No, I have not. I have not. I just sat down. So, welcome to Op-Amp 101. Uh-oh, somebody forgot to sign in. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Russ is on as well, huh? Okay. Well, maybe I'll bring him up, okay. Seeing I'm on ultra low latency, we might even be able to have a conversation back and forth. Who knows? Let's see here.
Brain is fresher. Coffee.
He's pulling his hair out, huh?
Go, Paul. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.
Oh, he's leaving. Oh, he's leaving. What the hell? I just got here. Oh, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Fine. Well, fine. All right. I guess I have to pick up the slack then. Ugh, I'm telling you. All right, so I'm still broadcasting in 720p for the benchtop view, and also for the oscilloscope view up here. Yeah, right there. I spent some time setting up my Video for Linux control panels and naming them so I can get to them quickly. I can adjust the parameters now, individual parameters of each camera. Just by double-clicking a shortcut to get to that video control panel. And the Microsoft, what do you call this thing? I don't know, the Microsoft Cam, whatever that thing is. Has an autofocus checkbox. So once it gets focused, and if I just unclick the checkbox for autofocus, it'll stay focused right where it is, and it doesn't fluctuate anymore. And let's get to it. I need more jumpers, though. I need more jumpers. This size and the next size down. Alright, this one. Jumper for that. So yeah. Wow. You're still still trying to wind that coil. I thought you had managed to get one down and coat it and all that. I guess not. Restarted 8 times. Whoa. Here's the question. Have you started to shout profanities in Spanish yet? Ratson Bratson. Okay, there, Fred Flintstone. Thought it was Ratson, Fratson, Frackin' Bracken is the way I remember it. Turn the flood side to the back. Why, did you make one? Have you made a Tesla coil there, Mr. Peak Positive? No, but other coils. Okay. I like this low latency. You guys are responding to my my words much more quickly. It's kind of nice. My whole life is high latency. Oh, okay, sure is. Actually, I think that was you probably not complaining about that. That's a positive thing in your case. High latency, very laid back, very slow. Or anything. Yep, good for you. Good for you, man. This should be enough jumpers to get me over the hump here. Oh boy. So, back to Op Amp 101. Let's get this out of here. Let's get these out of here. Put this. There. Yeah, like that. Okay. So, I should not have a dead short. Okay, good. No dead short. I should also have no connection over to here. And I do not. Good. So this little patch of the proto board is isolated but powered from 10 volts. I'm going to take my LM324 and stick it someplace in the middle here where I can get juice. Alright. Oh. Well, that's no good. Let's try that again. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Now, pin 4 is plus. Pin 11 is minus. Like that. 64 gig thumb drives came in. What brand did you buy? Okay. Starman Live, huh? Who's Starman? Is this some kind of joke? Yeah. You know what? I see. So the camera is a GoPro stuck to the side of the car. The sun is behind you now, and it's just sort of floating, spinning around in space. Okay. Yeah. Good publicity. Now we have a piece of space debris in orbit. My only comment about that is whatever. Maybe the Russians will grab it. Ah, yeah, right. Or the Chinese. All right. Heavy rocket launch. Oh, heavy rocket launch. Okay, I remember something about this. This was a test that they were doing because NASA wanted SpaceX to demonstrate the heavy launch, the heavy lift capability. So now NASA is considering using SpaceX for some heavier duty missions than what they have been. Okay. So if you're going to put something heavy up there, put something heavy that'll generate a lot of publicity. Yeah, I get it. I guess. No human on SpaceX. It is going to Mars. So is it going to crash land on Mars? Or do they want to land it on Mars and remote pilot it? Now that would be cool. Hey man, let's do some donuts on the surface of Mars. Alright, so if the plus positive input just thinking out loud to myself here. If the positive input, non-inverting input I should say, if the non-inverting input is held to 1/2 of VCC, the output of the op amp should be 1/2 of VCC. Alright, so the non-inverting input gets a 1.5K to the positive rail. And 1.5K to the negative rail. The non-inverting input should go to the output. And my voltage at the output should be the same as the voltage at the non-inverting input. So let's start with the basics. Power supply is on. Flux capacitor is fluxing. All right. Here is my negative rail. My positive rail is at 10.005 volts. My non-inverting input should be at about 5 volts. And my output should be at 5 volts. And it is. So far, so good. Now, let's do this. Let's make this LM324 open loop. And let's make the voltage at the non-inverting input, at the inverting input adjustable. So that's my inverting input. I need to go So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one of these. Alright, and then I want to adjust between the plus and minus rails. So one side of this potentiometer goes to the positive rail, and the other side of this potentiometer goes to the negative rail, which is really ground. Reattach my voltage. Like that. Okay, and my voltage is adjustable from 0 to 10. I want to go the other way so that clockwise goes up. So let me just make that quick change. Only because I'm anally retentive that way. Okay, that is my inverting input voltage. So, if my inverting input voltage is 0, my output should be at plus 10, or at the positive rail, as far as it can go, which is 1.25 volts below the positive rail. As I increase this potentiometer, I should reach a threshold at just about midpoint where it suddenly flops to ground. And I'm turning it up, and I'm turning it up, and I'm turning it up, and suddenly it switches to ground. So there's my trigger point, and it's doing what I expect it to do. It's running open loop, but it's inverted. I should be able to do the same thing now by varying the voltage on the positive input relative to the negative input. Right? Right. So let's take that out. I now have the negative input, the non-inverting input. I'm sorry, I now have the inverting input at 1/2 VCC. And the non-inverting input will be adjustable. Starting the experiment again, my potentiometer is at minimum. My inverting input is high, so my output should be low. And the survey says see, there's my ground. My output is low. And as I slowly turn the positive input up, I should hit the threshold and the output should swing high. Boink, right there. Very rapid transition. That's what I would expect. Yes, the LM324 is working. Although I still have not applied a 66.666666 kilohertz square wave to the input yet. Because I'm just screwing my head on straight to make sure that I have the logic correct. That what I was attempting to do should have worked. And I still don't know why it didn't work. I'm still struggling with that. I'm still pissed off about that. I'm literally just sitting here proving to myself that I still understand how an operational amp works. And just trying to retrace my steps and figure out why I couldn't get it to work last night. I was literally, I was just so fed up last night, I just got up and walked away. It was a Monday. Yeah, it was a very Monday, I guess. Okay. So fine. I have got my threshold sitting someplace around 5 volts, my input signal. Sitting someplace around 5 volts, right? Yeah. So that's my trigger point. That's where it's supposed to be. Now, if I try to send a capacitively coupled signal to my non-inverting input, what will happen? Alright, I'm going to place my channel 1, my oscilloscope channel 1, on the output of the op amp. And I should see a square wave similar to what is on channel 2 in phase with channel 2. Alright, so my output is high right now. And if I just tweak the potentiometer a little bit, it drops. Yep, there it is. I'm right at the threshold. Okay. Here goes nothing. Ooh, a launch conference, huh? The Mandela effect. I've read about the Mandela effect. It's interesting. Maybe I can. Alright, here we go. And there's what happens. It just borks. I don't understand. And that's what happens if I adjust my threshold, if I tinker with the threshold voltage. Oh yeah, the scope probe is working fine. Watch. Input signal, output signal, or I should say 2 input signals right now. All right, let's watch this Elon Musk conference here.
Dragon 2.
In the room, how about James Dean from Florida Today?
James Dean!
Thanks so much, Elon. James in Florida Today. Speaking of those Dragons, could you give us a status on commercial crew and you know, when we might realistically see an astronaut just getting to low Earth orbit, much less the Moon or Mars?
Yeah, we're making great progress on Crew Dragon, or Dragon version 2. That's yeah. Actually, in terms of company priorities, obviously mission assurance is always #1 as a priority, but then the priority used to be Falcon 9 Block 5, and then a month ago I said absolute priority is Crew Dragon. So we're pretty much done with Falcon 9 Block 5 with version 5. Pretty much almost done with Falcon Heavy. A few tweaks that would occur with Falcon Heavy Block 5, but they're minor. And so it's all hands on deck for Crew Dragon. And our goal is to, we're aspiring to fly Crew to orbit at the end of this year. That's our goal. I think the hardware will be ready.
We have time for one more question in the room.
And I was just looking at Falcon 9, it's like, yeah, that's kind of small.
So we're going to have to wrap it, and I'd like for Chris Gephardt, please, to have the last question.
question in terms of the next Falcon Heavy, which is that Arabsat or the one for the Air Force. Do you have any idea of how Pad A held up from today's launch, and how quickly can it be changed?
That looks good.
Pad
That's
looks
good
good?
shape.
Yeah, so I guess my questions are...
I'm laughing at this chat. I mean, who even wants to bother participating in this chat room?
Since you need that pad for both.
Oh, real fast.
You don't even have time to read it.
Going back and forth. It's designed that way.
And for the Block 5 version of the Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy, does the Falcon Heavy need a dedicated core built for it, or are the Block? It does. Okay.
It does. The center core needs to be dedicated. Yeah. So the center core is a special build. The side boosters we can reuse existing Falcon 9s, but we need to just replace the inner stage with a nose cone, and it needs to use the upgraded titanium grid fins, which are sweet. Those worked out real well. I'm really happy about those. In fact, I'm glad we got the side boosters back, because they had the titanium grid fins and the center core didn't. So if I was to pick anyone, I would have picked the side boosters. I'd pick the center core to explode. So that would be like the least. Yeah. Those freaking grid fins they're super expensive and awesome, but the production around them is slow. We need them back. That was the most important thing to recover were those grid fins.
Are there sensors inside the spacesuit testing like its ability to function? Nope, it's just up there.
Yeah, no, it definitely works though. You can just like jump in a vacuum chamber with it, and it's fine.
Elon, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Joining us to provide us status on the mission, Elon Musk, SpaceX CEO, lead designer. Elon?
Well, this is not live. This is a rebroadcast.
An incredible job of creating.
Okay, whatever. All right, back to this. Shit. All right. As soon as I try to apply a square wave signal, all bets are off. What happens? The slew rate is not great enough. Why not? I'm going to set this amp up for a non-inverting gain of 2. All right. I'm going to set this up as a traditional op amp, traditional amplifying op amp, where you've got a feedback resistor and you're inverting input to ground through another resistor. This is another test of traditional op amp theory. I should have a gain of 2. So if I set my input voltage to 1 volt, I should have 2 volts at the output. Why am I showing a negative voltage? Let's try this again. That's fine. Okay, 1.01 volts at the input. I should have roughly 2 volts at the output. And look at that, I have 2 volts at the output. So once again, traditional op-amp theory holds. We'll take this out. We'll put whatever, 100K to ground, right? My output voltage is 0 because my input voltage is 0. And once again, let's put my scope on the output. And try to feed an AC signal to the input. And boy, is that a shitty looking waveform. What this tells me is that an LM324 cannot slew worth a damn. Is that right? I mean, come on. Is an LM324 really that bad? Am I missing something here? What am I missing here? I'm gonna call it a night again. I'm telling you. I'm gonna have to go watch this episode of X-Files that Ortorio was talking about. The Mandela effect. Where can I find it? Is it online? The crux of the issues that I'm having appear to be that the LM324 does not have the bandwidth that I remember it having. And this one's not even working at all. Wow. Still have power, right? Faulty component, you know. If I've got faulty components, I have multiple faulty components, in which case I'm going to restock and start fresh, because even my 747s and my 741, we're talking 4 out of 4. The odds are pretty low, I would think. Are you properly grounded? Sanity check of the scope probe. Yep. We've already been there. Back in a bit. I might not be here when you get back, just saying. I am very frustrated right now. Let me see if I can find this episode. Z, I ran the LM324 in light spice and the frequency you're at will not work. Really? Huh. Well, shit. That may explain a few things over here. Hold on a second. Did I use an LM324 in my other one? I did. No. Yes. Oh no. That could explain a lot of the problems that I was having. Oh my God. What kind of chip am I looking at here? What quad op amp operates into megahertz range? On Demand has season 11. Really? X-Files is Fox Network still? Probably. My head hurts right now. God. All right, that's it. I'm yanking the plug here. Lost art of forehead sweat. Good night, fellas. I'm chickening out.